I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
Like, what's up with the world? Like, it seems like you guys get into it with GMs. I saw the recent one.
No,
but
that
it feels
was
like you guys have been toes with an organization or two.
Yeah, we have been, and I guess it's like kind of weird because Biz and I got real no desire to be like causing a ruckus in organizations.
But we seem to do it every year.
But last year with the Columbus head coach, he ended up getting fired based on like a report and something Biz had heard, and it snowballed when research was done into something where a coach was fired right before the season. And then this year, I talked about the Boston Bruins star goalie Jeremy Swayman Young, maybe 25. I don't know exactly his age, but just became like a star in the league. He'd the last few years been playing with a great goalie who won the Vezina in Boston. They had a two-man tandem. Well, they traded the other guy, Linus Ullmark, and now it's Swayman, but they traded him when he was unsigned. They traded Ullmark, and Swayman didn't have a deal. So now it's going on all summer. Now training camp started, and he's not there, and he's not signed. He's holding out. I went on and was told the offer the Bruins gave him, which was an enormous slap in the face. He's looking for around 8 years times. I bet he'd take 8.258, and they offered him 4 years at $6.2 million. So he's looking for 64. Say they offered him, what is that, 26?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went on and gave that, and then I also mentioned that I'd been told that the Bruins hadn't been returning like his agent's calls and responding to a possible like reoffer or an offer given back by the agent and the player, and that he hadn't heard back from Don Sweeney, the GM. And randomly in the middle of his preseason day before training camp press conference, he was asked about Swayman. He's not signed. He kept getting asked. He's like, I'm not going to talk about rumors. But one rumor that was bullshit was the Spittin' Up on Yourself podcast.
I loved it.
Yeah,
the Spittin' Up.
I loved
And
it.
then
The minute I heard that, I said, we got him.
He goes, I know. Yeah. And so, like, boom. I'm like, all right, well, now we're in the middle of this, but it's kind of hilarious that a GM's talking about our podcast, naming it a different name. Like, we're in the mix. But it's weird. So he ends up saying, yeah, and you know, my son loves Paul Bissonnette, and he's a very entertaining guy. And he goes into like, but they're doing it for kind of clicks, is basically, I'm paraphrasing what he said. That's what they do. They don't know it for facts. They shouldn't present it as facts. Biz didn't even say it. I said it. So then it's like, all right, well, we're in the middle of it. We got to address it now. Right. And we did. The episode drops. Is this dropping Tuesday morning?
Yeah.
Ours drops live right now, and we address this. And you know,
yeah, so go check it out.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. If you watch this, after you watch this, you should
go check it out.
Check that out.
Go check it out. And yeah, and Biz had a conversation with him, and there's evidence.
He called me.
There's evidence that he, you know, he's not a fan of mine. So it kind of is what it is. But we are in the mix. Yes, that's a long answer. That's
how we got in the mix, and yeah, just kind of like, I don't know.
But at the same time, we had two current GMs on the same episode that's live right now. So it's like, if we got two GMs that are friendly enough and good enough to us to come on, well, one GM really doesn't like me. I mean, we're still doing pretty well with St. Louis and Minnesota. Doug Armstrong and Billy Guerin coming on and talking to us about their teams.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, when you go out and talk about the player and like they offered him X, Y, and Z, are you getting that from the players' camp? And if so, like,
no, and you wouldn't say who you're getting it from, anyways.
Got you.
Like
you.
hockey,
it's
like I'm almost thinking if you
Ian Rappaport or Ryan or Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Adam Schefter, like, he ain't giving up sources.
Yeah, you can't. The minute you say your sources, you'll never get another source.
Right.
I mean, imagine how many fucking sources Adam Schefter has.
Yeah,
he's got to have.
He gets
everything,
every breaking. Elliot Friedman's similar to that in the NHL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're breaking the biggest news. So they got mad sources, and they're not.
Do you ever get
giving in any of them?
Do you ever get worried about like players wanting to come back to like that player was like, hey, why would you be saying that?
Yeah,
like
but I wouldn't say something. I don't think like me saying what I heard. I don't know Jeremy Swayman, but me saying the offer the Bruins gave him, I know that would never hurt him. I'm helping him in a sense of like, everyone's like, that's the fucking offer they gave him.
Right. Yeah.
If I didn't know the guy, well, I guess I would say this, but if I'm like, I heard this team offered him 10 million euros, he's not taking it, so he'd be look bad. I don't know if I'd share that. Do you know what I'm saying, Biz?
Yeah, you're more for the player than the coach.
I wouldn't have a problem saying.
Yeah, I guess
like,
if I didn't know him, I wouldn't.
But I would be honest about saying, yeah, if you think you're fucking worth more, then I guess try and get it. But I think he's being a little greedy in this sense.
Yeah, that's true.
If that was the case, but also one part of the story too, it's I think he was just frustrated. He completely fumbled the situation, which I think he's done. And then to go radio silent for 3 weeks in the summer,
which he denies, we should say.
Yeah, which he's denying. That's what the same source is saying. So he never denied the number. So obviously the source is legit. Why would he lie about the time that they didn't talk? There was radio silence for 3 fucking weeks. You still haven't signed your star goalie. So what's going to happen? Is this going to get drawn out to December 1st? That could happen. And
it's crazy.
Which would be crazy because if at that point he doesn't sign, he has to sit out the full season. Is there a situation like that in the NFL where if your deal's not done by a certain game?
You said week 10 to me earlier. I asked him this earlier.
Oh,
right, Will?
week 10?
No, I have no clue. I think
Big Cat
might have said that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
There's only been a few situations where guys have sat out the entire year. I don't think there's like a cutoff where you have to like sit out.
Who was the biggest player to ever be like, no, not enough. I'm not playing this year?
I mean, there was Le'Veon Bell. And
he didn't play the whole year?
He didn't play an entire year.
And it didn't work out?
Yeah,
no, the only person I've ever heard.
He was in a boxing match too for like short money, wasn't he? Too? Like he's not doing
Williams,
and bro,
too.
he was the man for real. Like he was the man.
Him?
Yeah.
He got bad advice.
He's such a unique style of player too. He just like sat behind his line and kind of just looked around a little bit, then went.
Read it,
just
and then
crazy.
boom, pounced like a cheetah.
And that's like a weird way to play. But
Trent,
he was so effective.
Trent Williams.
That's what I was gonna say. Trent Williams is the only player off the top of my head that took a year off and came back, and you're like, yeah, he's still him. Still the fucking man.
He sat out a year, didn't accept.
To me, Trent Williams.
Did he make
lost
more?
His salary.
Did he get what he was looking for?
No, I mean, I'm saying that year he lost his salary, but because he hated how Washington kind of bought some of his surgeries.
Is that the guy in San Francisco now?
Yeah.
He's like the best offensive lineman in the league.
Yeah.
To me, Trent Williams is the greatest offensive lineman in the history of the game. He's the number one player ever. He's a 99 guy in NFL.
Having that be your position.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. And
that's
it's like
me with
the same guy you're talking about who sat out a year.
Yeah,
he's one of the best.
I think he's like he's on like the Mount Rushmore of offensive.
Wow,
he's got to be up.
Another guy who's probably on the Mount Rushmore, if not the best, was that Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah,
right. Was he the best pass rusher of all time?
Such an argument.
He's arguably the best defensive player of all time.
Really? Like, who is the other guy that people would say?
You have Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. Reggie White was a monster, bro.
I said it before him.
What made Aaron Donald so effective? He was just this like massive human that pounced so fast.
How great he was in the short amount of time that he played. Like he doesn't have, how many years did he act?
9. Or he played one more year than me. 10.
But I'm saying somebody like that, like he could have played at least 15.
And showed no signs of stopping, no signs of.
That's what
down.
I'm saying.
It's like Megatron,
right?
For the Lions, he just was like,
why did he shut it down? That's it.
The way he phrased it is, he's like, I've achieved everything I could possibly achieve in this game. Like I've given everything. Like
I'm tapped out of giving everything.
Right. I think I'm ready to move on,
right.
Bro. From the minute he stepped on the field, he was a Pro Bowl All-Pro guy. From the minute.
Rookie year.
He was the 13th overall pick my year. Was defensive rookie of the year, and then went on 9 straight Pro Bowls after that, and I think 6 All-Pros.
Yeah.
3 defensive player of the years. It might be 2. Dog, I'm telling you, like
he was the guy for 10 years.
Monster,
for 10 years, and it was like he played 3 technique for the most part, so that's on the guards. So tackle, guard, center. I know I don't want to sound disrespectful. I'm just trying to explain it. Like, and when we would play the Rams, whether they're in St. Louis or in LA, you just look at the guards throughout the week, and you're like,
you're fucked.
You poor motherfuckers. Yeah, and then this motherfucker starts playing on the edge every once in a while. I'm thinking, God damn it.
Did he ever get you? Did he ever burn you?
No, he never got me.
Okay.
But it's very different. Like with rushers, it's very unique for a guy to be able to play multiple spots. Like you look at a guy like TJ Watt, he's on the right tackle, and he's one of the most effective all-time rushers of all time. His brother JJ could go tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. And that is so hard to game plan because he essentially goes down the line in the beginning of the game, figure out who's got the yips that day.
Who's the weak guy?
No
way.
Fucking takes him out the whole day.
Oh, no.
And so you get like my rookie year, I got tested by JJ, and
monster,
luckily
right?
I had some success.
No shit.
And I was like,
stayed away.
He kind of stayed away after that. I was like, thank God, because the dude was a fucking stud, and he would just go find one guy, and then after the first quarter,
where's Watt in that conversation? Top 20 all time?
Oh, he's top 20 for sure.
Yeah,
Top 20
I would say
defensive
so.
lineman of all time. Yeah.